Hello and welcome to my channel, where I share with you the best books on personal development, productivity, and learning. Today, I'm going to talk about a book that will blow your mind, Brain Rules by John Medina. This is a book that explains how our brains have evolved and how we can use their natural impulses and tendencies to our advantage, improving our thinking and learning in all aspects of our lives. The book provides insights into the main needs of our brains and why we doze off in the middle of a presentation, forget names, or get stressed out easily. The author, John Medina, is a molecular biologist who focuses on psychiatric disorders. He has spent decades studying the brain and filtering the most reliable and relevant research for us. He has distilled his findings into 12 rules that summarize the brain's core functions, abilities, and limitations. In this video, I'm going to give you an overview of these 12 rules and how you can apply them in your daily life. Let's get started. Rule 1: Our brains evolved for survival. Medina explains that our brains evolved in response to changes in both our physical bodies and our environments. Our ancestors had to solve problems, adapt to unpredictable situations, and move constantly to survive. These are the three core functions of our brains today. To optimize our brain performance, we need to challenge our problem-solving skills, expose ourselves to novelty and variety, and exercise regularly. Rule 2: Exercise boosts brain function. Medina shows that physical activity has multiple benefits for our brains. It improves blood flow, oxygen delivery, nutrient uptake, and waste removal. It also stimulates the growth of new brain cells and connections, enhances mood and memory, and reduces the risk of dementia and depression. To reap these benefits, Medina recommends at least 150 minutes of moderate-intensity aerobic exercise per week. Rule 3: We need sleep to think. Medina reveals that sleep is essential for our brain health and cognitive abilities. It helps consolidate memories, clear toxins, repair damage, regulate emotions, and restore energy. It also enhances creativity, problem-solving, decision-making, and learning. To optimize our sleep quality and quantity, Medina advises us to follow a consistent sleep schedule. Avoid caffeine and alcohol before bed, limit exposure to blue light at night, and create a dark, quiet, and comfortable sleeping environment. Rule 4: Stress can hurt the brain. Medina warns that chronic stress can have detrimental effects on our brains. It can impair memory formation and recall, damage brain cells and structures, increase inflammation and oxidative stress, disrupt hormonal balance and immune system function, and trigger anxiety and depression. To cope with stress effectively, Medina suggests we identify the sources of stress in our lives, and practice relaxation techniques such as meditation or breathing exercises, seek social support from friends or family, and adopt a positive mindset. Rule 5: Our brains are each uniquely wired. Medina explains that our brains are not identical or fixed. They are shaped by our genes, experiences, interactions, and environments. They are also constantly changing and adapting through a process called neuroplasticity. This means that we all have different strengths, weaknesses, preferences, and styles of learning and thinking. To leverage our brain's uniqueness and potential, we need to embrace diversity, customize our learning methods, challenge ourselves with new skills or tasks, and provide feedback and reinforcement. Rule 6: Multitasking doesn't work. Medina debunks the myth that we can do multiple things at once efficiently. He shows that multitasking actually reduces our attention span, accuracy, speed, and productivity. It also increases errors, stress levels, and mental fatigue. To avoid multitasking pitfalls, Medina advises us to focus on one thing at a time, eliminate distractions such as notifications or background noise, prioritize our tasks based on urgency and importance, and take breaks every 90 minutes or so. Rule 7: The brain needs to form, retrieve, and forget memories. Medina describes how memory works in 3 stages: encoding, acquiring new information, storage, consolidating information in long-term memory, and retrieval, accessing information when needed. He also explains why we sometimes forget things or remember them inaccurately. To improve our memory performance, we need to pay attention to what we want to remember. Repeat it frequently or review it periodically, associate it with something meaningful or emotional, organize it into categories or chunks, and test ourselves or teach others. Rule 8. Our senses depend on one another. Medina demonstrates that our senses are not isolated but integrated in our brains. They work together to create a coherent perception of reality. They also influence each other in various ways, such as enhancing or inhibiting certain sensations, triggering memories or emotions, or creating illusions or synesthesia. To stimulate our sensory integration, we need to expose ourselves to different sensory inputs. Use multiple senses to learn or communicate, and pay attention to how our senses affect our mood and behavior. Rule 9. Vision is the dominant sense. Medina reveals that vision is the most powerful and influential sense in our brains. It accounts for about half of our brain's resources and processing power. It also affects our other senses, our attention, our memory, and our emotions. To optimize our visual processing, we need to use images, colors, shapes, and patterns to convey information. Avoid cluttering or overloading our visual field, and use eye contact, facial expressions, and gestures to enhance communication. Rule 10. We're wired to respond to music. Medina explores the fascinating relationship between music and the brain. He shows that music can activate multiple brain regions and functions, such as emotion, memory, language, motor control, and reward. It can also modulate our mood, motivation, creativity, and learning. To harness the power of music, we need to listen to music that we enjoy or that matches our desired state. Play an instrument or sing along to boost our brain activity, and use music as a mnemonic device or a learning tool. Rule 11. Gender affects thought processes. Medina discusses the biological and psychological differences between male and female brains. He argues that these differences are not absolute or deterministic but rather statistical and probabilistic. They are influenced by a combination of genetic, hormonal, environmental, and cultural factors. They also result in different strengths and weaknesses in various cognitive domains, such as verbal, spatial, emotional, or social skills. To appreciate and benefit from gender diversity, we need to acknowledge and respect the differences without stereotyping or discriminating. Understand and communicate effectively with the opposite sex, and support equal opportunities and representation for both genders. Rule 12. We learn by exploring. Medina concludes with the most important rule of all: we are born curious and eager to learn. He explains that exploration is the natural way of learning for our brains. It involves observation, experimentation, feedback, and reflection. It also requires motivation, attention, emotion, and repetition. To foster our lifelong learning, we need to follow our passions and interests, seek new challenges and experiences, learn from our mistakes and failures, and share our knowledge and insights with others. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. And if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more book summaries and reviews. Thank you for watching and see you next time.